The front from Parash, Champagne, Cunnell, Super Cash, Crack Me Up, Santa and Elaine for the Stradbroke. Santa and Elaine by 2 lengths. Super Cash second, Fardo third. Champagne Cunnell's prominent. Paraston, Crack Me Up there, followed by Shillelagh. Impending.
Santa and Elaine winning the 2017 Stradbroke Handicap. As I turn that off, go away. It is Pro Group Racing. Show us your tips. Here to preview said Stradbroke Handicap at Eagle Farm, as well as a look at Randwick. Joined by the Beaver as always. What's going on, Beaver?
Normal stuff, mate. A bit warmer today, not as chilly, so pleased about that.
Yeah. The rain's gone.
A bit more comfortable to the form. The rain's gone, yes.
Yeah, I'm no good in the cold. So I'm glad the sun's out, which it should be all weekend. The sun is out at Stradbroke. Actually, midweek wasn't too bad either, was it? It was pretty good result.
Good week, midweeker. Yeah, we had another good result. Plenty of winners there.
Yeah, so that and a couple of close seconds. So pretty close to a big day, but it was a nice little tick over to get us ready for a couple of Group 1s tomorrow at Eagle Farm. At Eagle Farm, we talked about it a bit last week. Was any confidence in the track yet, or doesn't seem?
Not a great deal of confidence in the track. No, it's hard to get a bit of a line on. I think. Probably favoured those finishing on a little bit.
I think so. And tomorrow, where's the rail tomorrow? I had this written down. It should be similar tomorrow, similar setup tomorrow. It's supposed to be quite fast, so there was concern it's going to get put into 4 metre mark. So we're hoping by the end of the day you can run on, but just keep an eye out for if it is quite quick there. Can be hard to make a lot of ground. Up and off is probably the place to be. A weird little card is converting form lines as we get. There's form from up north and down south and everywhere. So we'll get through them. A few of our old combatants in action, but we'll kick off with the 2-year-olds over the 1,200 metres, the Oxlade Stakes. You can lead us away here, Beaver.
Yeah, you're right. I think with the card itself, it's a little bit tricky in places trying to line form up from some sort of out of metro tracks where horses have won really well to city form in Brisbane to some of those coming from Sydney and even Melbourne. So it's made it a little bit tricky, and but let's see how we go. The scratching in the first in the Congo to stay in Sydney has changed the complexion a little bit of this race, I think. Look, the favourite, Matawi, was very good in its first race start, was well backed and absolutely killed him, but it was at Ipswich. Again, hard to line that form up. I've gone with it just slightly ahead of Uncommon James. I thought Uncommon James was very, very good at the Sunshine Coast. It did have the perfect run, but when it got clear, it hit the line really well and seemed to have plenty in hand. It is stepping up from maiden class to this, but a few of these horses are sort of going through the same step up in grades. So for that reason, I'm not so sure about Socialist. It ran well. Last run it was a bit disappointing.
Yeah, it's now.
Maybe it's just had enough this campaign.
Now 5th up, 2-year-old. It's not always the recipe, is it?
No, that's why I put a line through it. So yeah, they're the 2 that I'll be looking to play.
Yeah, I liked Mautai's debut as well. Pretty impressive. The time was okay as well. So it was on top from me. I think Connexi's going better than its form read. I think there've been 2 okay runs so far. So might be the danger. J-Mac goes on there for Louise Day, so big jockey change. But yeah, I thought the favourite was pretty impressive. I know, as you said, up at Ippy, but happy to stick there. Race 2 over the mile. The Wayne Wilson, how's this for a race?
Oh.
End of the day, this Delphi doesn't have to be an absolute superstar, which it might be very good to beat these. Like, this is a lot of horses that don't like winning. And Delphi's last start.
Or at the better end of their career.
Yeah. It was this Delphi, it's been, I think came out in Australia came out for the spring and never ran. But it's had a tick over trial to get going up there. Last time out at the car, I know it was over further, but that beat Master of Reality, who started, I think, in the teens in the Melbourne Cup. That's right. Better form than a lot of these internationals that come out here. I imagine they tend to get trained a bit different, so they're usually fresher and ready to go over the mile once they trot it out here. And I imagine they'd want to make an impression wherever he's heading next. So I've got it on top just by default almost. And I think Rainier is the least non-winning of what's left. So they're the two for me. What about yourself?
Yeah, I like what you say there. Delphi doesn't have to be a superstar to win this, and certainly you would think it'd be ready fresh. I'm just wondering whether they're just trying to give it one run or two now and then bring it back in the spring, but we'll get a guide on how good it is and whether it is up to that. Friedman's got a knack with these ones, so certainly hardest to beat, and I liked the return of Profit. So I tipped Profit first up, and it ran very well, and is probably the horse in this group that is on the way up with the scope for improvement. Others are just doing their thing in the latter years of their careers. So for me, Delphi on the spec of being a decent horse, and Profit as the fresh horse on the way up.
Yeah, at least Profit's a winner, and he's been pretty good. So, and I like the return too there. Race 3 over the mile is for the 3-year-olds, Group 3, the Gunsing Classic. What are you doing with the favourite? What are you doing with Ayrton?
Look, yeah, it's a bit tricky. The only thing, the main thing in Ayrton's favour here is it's a fairly ordinary affair, this race. It's almost midweek quality race. And it did chase a decent horse in Apache Chase last start. It was, the one thing that did concern me was going the other way. And the trainer has said that wasn't quite sure it got on the right foot and just didn't chase as hard and let down as hard. Let's hope that was an anomaly.
Yeah, that position he got into was he had to sort of drag along. He had to chase along. Out. So I don't know if he was necessarily either used to that, or you'd think snuggled up a bit. Gate 1 will be hopefully more explosive.
Yes, I think so. So I'm willing to forgive. It was a second, and it wasn't far off him. So it's not, that second would probably still win this race fairly comfortably, I would have thought. Ellsberg, I just don't know. First up had everything go its way and everything to suit. The last 2 runs haven't been that flattering, I don't think. So, and again, the rest of the field's pretty average. So probably $1.80 Ayrton is probably really good value at the moment. If you think about what price it started last start and the quality of field it's against now, I actually don't know why it's $1.80.
Yeah, I think it's probably $1.80 and close to 100% market, really, if you're going to be fair income, because I don't know where the percentage goes. Ellsberg will make it chase. It'll be a similar race to last time. It'll have to chase, but Gate 1 will be closer. Shall I start some controversy and suggest that J Mac's a positive jockey change for Jamie Carr, or is that going to get us sacked?
Maybe. Interesting thought.
Leave in the comments
going
below.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. But maybe it is. Maybe it'll just suit that horse better. Who knows?
Yeah, that's it. Race 4 is the 3,200 metre Brisbane Cup. They've been pushing this for a Group 1 for a while. This is not a Group 1 field, nor should it be. I suppose if you're
this is a midweek stayers affair.
It is. I suppose if you're fair income, and I made this mistake last week with Dewis, you've got to lean towards the A grade, which is Rondinella, ran in the Sydney Cup, ran second. Set up for this. I know it's been up a while, but I'm not going to think too much about this. I'll back Rondinella. Glenn Boss knows how to win 3,200 metre races, obviously, and I will just say I think Rondinella wins, and that's the last of my comments. What about yourself?
Yeah, look, I can't take Rondinella. It's promised too much without delivering for me. It's always excuses, and I'm not looking for horses with excuses anymore. I'm going to go with the winning form, Knight's Order. I thought Knight's Order was, I think this is what it's been set for. It's moved into its work lovely. Its win last start was fantastic. I think it was hard held on the line. Could have won by more. It doesn't appear to me that the step up in distance will affect it. Actually, probably be to its value. Gets a weight pull off from Vanilla. Yeah, I'm gonna say Knight's Order, a very nice bet.
Yeah, could and does get complete control of this race. Nothing else is going to go forward here. It could be 2 lengths in front of him the whole way around, and that might be how it finishes. Race number 5, the 2200 QQ, a Q22, weight for age group 2, worth $1.2 million. So I guess that means there's another, 37K going into J-Max kick tomorrow afternoon. He's doing it tough.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. So who's going to beat it? Number 1, Zaki, I guess we're talking about. What it did in the Doom Cup was, very pleasing to the eye, obviously, but all the times and weights experts tell us it, would have matched Winks at its best. So got to take that as face value.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's not Winks odds, to be honest, in this field. Annabelle Nisham's placed in this horse beautiful, because this is, $750,000 in the kitty, money for Jam. You would think. Doesn't look to be too many challenges, to be brutally honest. Warning got back to winning form last start. Yeah. So that would be my my second choice.
If you took it out, it's actually an interesting race, but I think it's only $1.50 because people want to see it again. At least with your Winks of the world, you got to see it enough to know that was a consistent rating, I think. And then she's made some noise about, Annabelle Neesham has made some noise about worried about the dry track and that sort of thing. So a couple of little question marks, but it's only got to turn up and repeat what it's done, and it will win by a space. Let's move on to the first leg of the quaddie, race number 6, over 1,200 meters. And here they all are. Garibaldi's been good. I think the bet here might be away game. You're getting about $7.50. A lot of these have plenty of convictions. This has been racing against, I know it's A-grade filly stuff, but it's still Sydney Carnival stuff. I didn't have a win last prep, but still was quite honest. And this is, I'm just looking for fresh blood in a beat up field here. And I think around $7.50, Karen going on is a good bet. What do you say about the race?
I think Garibaldi looks to nearly be the best bet of the day, to be brutally honest. I think coming back to the 1,200 certainly suits. Gate 1, I think it's just going to sit behind the lead here. Probably GTT takes up the lead, I'm thinking. And I think Garibaldi's just going to sit on its back and present at the right time. Again, 54 kilos, nice lightweight. It's running the sprint, the BRC sprint last start was pretty good. It was only a couple of lengths off them, and it was a pretty good field, and wasn't drawn the best. And prior to that, it was pretty close to Fender, who was going well, and look, I think Garibaldi's a pretty decent horse, and so again, I think if you can get the $3. Garibaldi's a good bet. Away game resuming. Again, hard to line up its form. It wasn't the best, although it ran places. Not quite sure how to line up its form from the last preparation and how it's come back. And then maybe your old friend has a knockout chance, Superior, if they're flying home.
I don't want to talk about him. He's running here, isn't he? He's not.
Yeah. Like it.
Well, and the thing is, when we get to it, I'm going to make a case for Tefani and a Stradbroke, and this horse finished alongside it. So I suppose you don't need to think too much more.
I think sometimes it's tricky with races like this, because you kind of look at it and go, I don't want to pick the favourite. I don't want to back the favourite. People don't want to back the favourite. But when you just keep coming back to it, prior to 4th in a pretty good race last start and 2nd in the race before that, they couldn't beat this horse.
Yep.
And a lot of the other horses down in the markets are just not winners.
Yeah.
And the second favourite $5 on the basis of leading up a 1,000 metre, 1,100 metre at Doomben in a Class 6. These are a little bit better than Class 6. So, yeah, an away game, we're just not sure.
Yeah, no, yeah, fair enough. I think you've given a good bit of clarity there, actually. Race number 7 is the first Group 1 of the day, the JJ Atkins Plate, over the mile. We've got all the 2-year-olds coming through the 1,400 metre lead up. where the favourites all started at the other end of the market last time. How do you divvy them all up?
Well, I don't know. It's really hard in this. There's lots of chances, and any of the top 7 or 8 can win this race.
Yeah.
We've seen that they've all got form through each other. Last start, Converge, Port Louis, Tiger of Malay, Overpass. I think they finished 1, 2, 3, 4 last start. And then you've got a couple of horses that have shown decent form down in Sydney in Overman. Cape Breton fought on well last start. Interestingly, they've taken that up north over the mile. And even Volcanic Rock, I thought was really good last start. So again, really hard. I'm going to go for Port Louis. I'm just going to hope there's a bit of pace on here and it can finish over the top of them. We know it'll get back, so it'll probably need to be able to finish on. So I'm just going to go Port Louis in a really tough race, probably spec Volcanic Rock at odds. And yeah, you can't even anything in the market. I wouldn't want to turn anyone off anything that they like in this race.
No, well, obviously, I was quite keen on both the top 2 and Malay and Converge last time, but that was at big double figures, and now it's hard. They've got that sort of big SP against half this field that it's hard to justify then backing him at $3. Converge was the eye catcher, obviously, but I don't know that's necessarily the right recipe for Eagle Farm tomorrow. So I think Volcanic Rock, like you've said, might be the up and comer that's going to get control of this and be hard to beat. Opie Bossum just appeared out of nowhere on this form card when I was going through it.
Yes.
I don't know what he's doing here. But I can give a chance to him. The top 1 and 2, obviously winning chances. Overman, I think, still on the improve. Port Louis, ran close enough behind Captivant in the sires, which is tied to Converge. So I couldn't really stamp any. I think Subterranean is a forgive from last time. It was 20s there to be 20s again, and I'll throw it in a quaddie. But when I've talked this much without giving any of importance, I would say it's a very hard race. And for the sake of a tip, number 1 on top from 6 and 9. Don't back my tips in this. Race 8 is the Stradbroke, though. Just getting easier. The Group 1 over 1,400 metres. Well, it's a good race. I enjoyed this race, but my first starting point is I didn't want to be Vega 1. I know it was pretty impressive last time, but Jamie Carr now to Rachel King. She's going to be cluttered up. She's a very competent jockey, but she's not Jamie Carr. I can confirm that is not a positive jockey change. So the ones I wanted to look towards were, while Tommy Berry and Wild Planet will get the sweeping run, the sort of down the outside run if you can run on. And same as Stefani. I'm just looking for these big handicaps. We've seen it plenty of times where outside gates can just swoop down the outside with clear air and be in a finish. Stefani was great first up. We'll ride Craig Williams on, and Wild Planet. I didn't mean it is, but the 2 Rupert Lee horses. You'd need a bit of a magic ride from J-Mac, but Mr. Quickie's not without a hope here. It's not the weight scale is very compressed, so wouldn't surprise to see get a late split and burst through. So Wild Planet, Tefane, Mr. Quickie are the way I'll sort of structure this race for me. And just looking now, I Am Superman, you'll get 30s on a day and can win a race like this. What about you? Yeah,
there's plenty of horses that can win a race like this. I think the good thing that you find here is there's going to be enough speed on with Sabatoxor and Apache Chase. I think they'll both go forward, probably lead, and therefore you're going to get a truly run race, I would have thought, which will allow a lot of horses to posse up and get their chances. I like your thoughts around these types of handicap races, them swooping down the middle. And we saw that again with Vega 1 last start. That's what you're right with Mr. Quickie. That was my little concern, that it might just get stuck on the fence. But again, J-Mac on board and a very good horse and has a way of popping up in these races. So 1,400, probably as short as it's going to want it in a race like this. I came back to the Havaria at $8. I thought it catapults in here at a really nice weight. Had a lot of wins before then went down to Melbourne, and I don't think the Bavarian was overly disgraced down in Melbourne, to be brutally honest, in some pretty good races down there. I mean, it ran 4 lengths behind Mugatoo and Russian Camelot in that event that was very, very soft at Moonee Valley before it was put out for a couple of months and came back and was pretty good against Eduardo last start in Wild Planet. So we know that horse never runs a bad race. I would expect it to run another good race here. A little bit of cover coming down the middle and might be just in front of some of those horses that you mentioned, like Wild Planet and Tafane, and they'll have to go past it, and hoping it can just hold on. So the Havarian for me in a tough race.
We wrap up the day with the 1,300 metre Dane Ripper Stakes for the girls. Well, here's a way to wrap up the day. I like Sweet Deal's return. I like a few weeks back. I think it'll run well again here. Nash sticks and will be hard to beat. I know it's what's that, $5 in this field. From Brooklyn Hustle, who's been one of mine, and sort of suits this explosive at the 1,300. It's going to be interesting, but again, looking for clear air late in the day. Interesting one, Odium, gate 16, J-Mac going on Beaver. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I didn't find Odium. Drawn too wide for me and just probably hasn't shown enough yet this prep. I just think there's a few other better chances. But double figure odds is gives it a chance.
Yeah. What do you find?
I've gone for Brooklyn Hustle.
Yeah.
I've gone for Brooklyn Hustle. Really liked its win last start. Hit the line, really hit well. Slightly missed the kick, got back. Problem for Brooklyn Hustle is, or maybe it's not a problem here, but we'll get back in the field, right back in the field, probably almost back to last.
Yeah.
And we'll have to sweep around them. So as long as there's a little bit of pace on in the race. And I thought Exhilarates was very good, winning last start. Again, it'll be finishing hard, so pace on in the race there. Gets third up tomorrow. So it'll have a nice fitness edge and therefore presents as a really good race and good chance in this at around the $11, $12 mark.
Very good. For progretracing.com.au, do you want to sum up your best and value of the day?
Yeah, my best bet comes up in race 6, number 9, Garibaldi. I think it'll be very hard to beat. And my value bet's going to come up in the Stradbroke in race 8, number 12, the Havarian.
Nice. You are across the Queensland form, so we'll make sure he goes in the quaddy. I'll make my value in the same race. Tafane, she's about to go out. I hope she can get out a winner, but I like the bracket of the two of the Lee horses there. I'll make my best Rondinella. Try not to overthink that. Hopefully it can get past Knight's Order up on the pace there. Should we do a quaddy? You can lead us away at the Eagle Farm quaddy.
Yeah, I'll lead us away. The first leg, we're going to go number 4, 6, and 9.
Yep.
So try and play a little skinny early, and hopefully we get through there because we'll need a few in some of the other legs. We'll go numbers in the second leg. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6,
9.
And 9.
Perfect.
Yep. In the 8th race, third leg, we're going to go 1, 3, 7, 9, 12. And
leaving the favourite out. I like it.
We're going to leave the favourite out, and we're going to go for a bit of value there.
What about the two Queensland horses, Emerald Kingdom and Apache Chase? We didn't talk about them, but any chance in a quaddy?
Yeah, I don't think Apache Chase can lead all the way, even though it's 49.5. I just think there'll be too much pressure.
I've had 3 looks at Sosie Bon again, sitting here with Blake McDougall.
No.
I'll tell my counsellor about that. That's fine. Race number... Yep, so we've covered them that's everyone, yep. And how we come...
Yep, and in the last leg, we're going to come home with number 1, 3, 5, 6, 9, and 10.
Perfect. Very good. That for progretracing.com.au, that sums up our thoughts at Eagle Farm, and we're going to head to Randwick now to look at a heavy Randwick track. Just while I'm waiting for that to load, you've got to best wishes to our man Trent, who's coming to show a few times. He's off to Tamworth to kick off a new career as a bookie up there. So good luck with him. I wish him all the best with the move and hope it all goes well. Hopefully he'll still be involved with the show in some form when we need him over carnivals.
Yeah, we'll have to get him on. And yeah, as you said, good luck to Trent, who starts his new career as a bookmaker for an online and on-course bookmaker. So well done to him. It's very exciting.
Yeah, exactly. We head to Randwick. As I've said, it's been plenty of rain around, so it's a heavy 8 tomorrow. Forecast is supposed to be good, so I'm saying it probably gets to the bottom of the 7 range. Typical wet Randwick, you probably want to be running on by the end of the day. We kick off with the 2-year-olds over 1,200 meters. Nice and early in the day. 3 chances here. It's a tough field, actually. These 2-year-olds, I really like what Park Avenue's been doing, and I like the setup at the track and distance. But I also liked Vern's win at Woke Farm, so I can't really split them. Brody Lloyd going on for Tommy's probably not a great jockey change, but I think it's a talented horse. I think probably the go-to jockey for the day is Avdullah, isn't he? He'd be the highest ranked jockey you'd suggest. So it might be the jockey to look out for. He's on in the Congo. How are you playing at the first?
Yeah, look, you found Vern last start and was a lovely win. Really showed a really nice turn of foot, and I was very, very impressed by that. Annabelle Neesham trained. She's going very well as a trainer, climbing up the ranks. I think Vern can be hard to beat from the draw. I think it'll just sit off the pace again and be super hard to beat. So Vern for me.
Nothing in the highway?
Nothing in the highway, mate. I am staying away from a Masara favourite in the highway.
One day I won't.
Very good, see?
Yeah, you're learning. One day I won't back Sosie Bon and we'll both be cured, but it's good.
Yes.
Race number 3 over 1,000 meters. Who are you backing here?
Yeah, look, I'm going to go for Ice in Vancouver. Very impressive first up. Was scratched last week in a midweek affair. Saved for this, gets a 2 kilo claim. These are, again, most of these are midweek horses that keep promising to win a race and don't. The likes of Hulk, Malkovich will probably go forward. Look, I like Ice in Vancouver, and I'm expecting some improvement from number 6, De Grawen. It had some pretty good form before, disappointing first up, but put a line through that and hopefully it can improve.
Yeah, and I just got in my head that Ice in Vancouver is a highway horse and I couldn't get overly excited about it. As usual, I thought the $6 each way around Hulk was a decent play here. It's only got a reel into me, Malkovich, but Ice in Vancouver might put a bit of pressure on Malkovich here, actually. Didn't overly like the race. Could entertain maybe something Bellagio miss and maybe something forgiving De Grawen, but yeah, Hulk on top for me, not that keen. Race number 4 is the 1,200 meter 78. We saw the impressive Gravina 2 weeks back. I suppose you've got to take that as face value, and it'd be very hard to beat here. Not much to add. You?
Yeah, I think that's right. It was well found last start, won well, brained them. You always get a little bit worried that may have been a one-off.
Yeah.
But you kind of get to a field like this and go, even money the favourite. You start to look around and go, what else do I like in this race, and what can I find? You got Belushi Babe at 550, and then everything else is 10s plus. So they're not without a chance, but if Gravina's anywhere near, it doesn't even have to run as well as last start to beat this lot. So yeah, Gravina for me looks a very nice bet.
Yeah, like you say, once you start looking for, once you start gravitating towards Ulysses at 20s, I would want to rather back that than anything else in between. So I think you overthink.
Yes.
Just stick. Yeah, I think Shake's probably over the odds and Ulysses, but I think the favourite's hard to beat.
Yeah, 100%.
Over the mile of benchmark 78 is race number 5. And I don't like this race at all, do you?
No, I don't like this race at all. Again, it's sort of got 5 in the market under 20s, and it's really hard to get a line on it.
Yeah. Zing is the Saturday horse, but it just doesn't win. Yeah. What else can I say? It's favourite. I can't add much more. I will not make any jokes about number 3 because I'll get us fired. And I will probably move on from this race. Do you have anything to add?
No, I don't have anything to add here. I'd just be probably watching on this race.
We get a proper mile race number 6 to kick off the quaddie. I thought the favourite was pretty good last time, Kerwin's Lane. I don't know if it was a real strong race, but it stuck to the task well. And as I said, has the go-to jockey on the day here. A little bit of pace here with Gone By and Tory Joy probably rolling forward. And I think it can repeat this. And probably an easy bet to have you for me, Kerwin's Lane. The rest of these are all in the don't win category for me. Royal Celebration, Dealmaker. Dealmaker was okay last time, but Royal Celebration, Sambro, they've all shown themselves up enough. So I'm just going to go with the lightlier raced Kerwin's Lane. How about yourself?
Yeah, look, Tory Joe probably leads them up here and might be worth a little bit of a spec around the $15 mark. I've gone for Order Again. I thought it was really good first up. Again, I think this is probably the best horse in the race. It was on top of the ground, but has some decent form on heavy tracks. It's 1-3 from 6 on heavy tracks.
Wet tracker.
So that certainly doesn't count against it. It was really good. It was less than a length off Lure Me in its return in Scone, hit the line really well. Had a bit of time off, nearly a month between runs here, so not sure why that is. But Waller knows what he's doing. So I think Order Again here can bob up and be hard to beat here around the $6 mark.
Yeah, Order Again's best win was that wet track win at Kenzo where it just chimed in and brained him on the heavy, fresh last time. So I think they're thinking it's probably fresh and wet. So yeah, nice setup there, I suppose. Race number 7 over the 1100 meters. What am I doing here? I don't like this race either, Beaver. Do you? I thought Ballistic Lover was good last time. I think it's easy bet pace. I should say, but cluttered market. Yeah, what have you done?
Yeah, look, I think that's right. I think Ballistic Lover was very good last start and will probably go forward. It's drawn wide, but it'll come in a bit with some of the scratchings here. It does have some form on the soft going, and it did kick really well. I'm willing to forgive Fatus first up. It sat 3 wide without cover and really wasn't given much of a chance, I don't think. It was taken back to trial and trialled nicely, winning that trial on soft going. So if it gets a bit of better luck in running, I think Fatus is probably the best, classiest horse in this race. I'll probably have Fatus on top in front of Ballistic Lover. Might just run past it at the end, but not much between them.
Race number 8 is the 1300 meter benchmark 94. When I did this race, my thought mainly was, isn't Tricky Girl the best horse here by a long way? Like it, around a $6 market, it's been running into best stuff. Had no luck last time on the leaders. That was absolute leaders track where Fasika won. But before that, not far off seasons and then ran in the Group 1s. Freshened up for this. Keegan Latham's fine. And Wet's a tick as well. So I thought around $6. Tricky Girl on top. Enchanted Heart obviously has been going quite well. Now sort of pushing the weights Louise Day. And the thought around James Circles, I've just got a feeling it's a dry tracker. So that's why I was against that. What do you do with this race?
Yeah, tough little affair. Tricky Girl is the best horse in the race. That's why it's the top weight, but it is carrying 60 kilos or 60 and a half. So weight can stop trains. And it is renowned for running seconds. So that's a little bit of a concern for me. Big weight, wide draw, Keegan Latham on board. just seems to find trouble, this horse. I then went looking through the field to find something, and I came back to Dream Circle purely because wintertime winning form is good form.
I like
and
when about the dry. It's never won on the dry, so I'm glad I said that out loud. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, and so I think again 54 kilos, it's drawn the inside, so it should get a good track into the race here. And yeah, I just find that the winning form is hard to beat when horses in the winter get into this vein of form. They're sometimes really hard to beat. So around $5, I think it can be certainly figure in the finish.
Yeah. Also, watch out for these like your Grand Piano, the other Waratah Thoroughbred colours. Now they've had a few runs back for John Thompson. They're all starting to find their old form. I think it will get. Oh, well, obviously, Remilio will just get nabbed by Profit last time. But it'll win a race now, this prep. They all sort of fell off a cliff when they changed chainers for a little bit there. Race number 9 is the benchmark 78 over 1,400 metres. And $3.10 about Blondo looks good to me. It just had to chase too far out last time. Before that was very dominant. I think a bit of cut in the ground will help. And happy to put that on top. Last time on the heavy, it won. That was back at Warwick Farm, but yeah, it'll go all right here. This isn't a strong race, and I think it is better than 78 grade. You got much to add?
Yeah, I think you're right. Blondo for me. Not much to add there. Should be hard to beat and probably gets a better setup here.
For Pro Group Racing, we'll give our best and value. I'll make Blondo my best of the day in the last. I think it's very hard to beat, and my value for the day will be where are we here? I'll make it race 8, number 1, Tricky Girl. I think it gets a right set up here to run well, a bit back in grade. What about yourself, Beaver?
Yeah, I've gone Blondo as my best bet of the day as well in the last, and my value bet of the day comes up in race 6, number 2, Order Again.
I'll run us through a quick quaddie. First leg, number 2, Order Again, 7, Kerwin's Lane, and 12, Tory's Joy, riding the pace. Second leg, this good one. 4, Embracer, 5, Adelong, 8, Fatus, and 14, Ballistic Lover. Throw Wonder Bar in at your leisure, but I'm not. 1, Tricky Girl, 2, Enchanted Heart, 3, Grand Piano, 8, Dream Circle. And we'll come home with 10, Blondo, and I'll throw 4, Regal Stage in. Had that really nice first up win down in Melbourne last prep, and it's $16, but I think Blondo is a good bet. And that'll wrap up the quaddie there. Do you have anything else around Australia? There's heavy track racing at Sandown, which I haven't had a chance to look at yet, and racing at Morpheville. Have you had a look anywhere else?
Yeah, I've got a few down in Sandown to watch out for. Race 2, number 14, Mr. Mouge. Thought it was good last start, and if it's come on since then, could be really hard to beat. My other ones came up in race, where was it? The race 7, number 3, Seb Song. Thought it can come back to the winners list. And I also thought at pretty good value, race 8, number 5, Jumbo Ozaki, and race 9, number 7, Bless Her. That was sort of my 4 picks down in Sandown.
Bless Her should win that. It's funny, I saw Jumbo Ozaki's name pop up there and thought of you before you said it. So there you go. Give it strength. Good luck, Beaver. Good job. Good luck tomorrow, punters. Enjoy the Stradbroke. Enjoy some good racing all around Australia. And we'll catch everyone for progretracing.com.au. Check out their free tips and extensive guides on Tuesday night for our midweek preview. Catch you then, punters.